You know, when I first brought home that little fur ball, I thought I was ready for anything. I mean, how hard could it be? I had read all the articles, watched the videos, and even joined a few online forums. Teach your dog to potty outside in 3 days or less, they said. It's easy, they said. Well, let me tell you, those 3 days felt more like 3 months, and I was beginning to think I had bitten off more than I could chew. Day one started with a burst of optimism. I had my treats lined up, my schedule mapped out, and a whole lot of enthusiasm. I took my little pup Max outside every hour on the hour. "Go potty, buddy," I cheered, waving a treat like a flag of victory. But Max, he was more interested in chasing leaves and sniffing every inch of grass. I could practically hear him thinking, "What's this potty thing you keep talking about? I'm just here for the adventure." After a couple of hours, I realized I had to change my strategy. I started to watch for signs, sniffing, circling, the telltale squatting. I felt like a hawk, perched and ready to swoop in at the first sign of action. And then it happened. He squatted, and I lunged forward, shouting, "Yes, good boy!" But instead of a triumphant moment, I ended up with a puddle on the floor. My heart sank. I was losing the battle before it even began. By the end of day one, I was exhausted. I had cleaned up more messes than I could count, and my enthusiasm was waning. But I reminded myself, it's only day one. Tomorrow will be better. So I went to bed, dreaming of a perfectly potty-trained pup. Day two arrived, and I was determined to turn things around. I set my alarm for every hour, armed with treats and a newfound sense of urgency. I took Max outside, and this time I was ready to reward him for even the slightest hint of progress. "Good boy, Max, you're doing great." I praised him for sniffing the bushes, for standing still, for everything short of actually going. But still, no success. I started to feel like a broken record, repeating the same phrases over and over. "Go potty, Max, you can do it." But he just looked at me with those big, innocent eyes, as if to say, "Why are we out here again? I thought we were playing." I was beginning to wonder if I was the one who needed training. By the time day 3 rolled around, I was on the verge of despair. I had read every tip and trick, but nothing seemed to work. I decided to take a different approach. Instead of forcing him outside, I let him roam around the house. I watched him closely, waiting for the signs. And then, just as I was about to lose hope, I saw it. The sniffing, the circling, it was happening. I scooped him up and rushed him outside, my heart racing, and then it happened. He squatted, and I held my breath. "Please, please, please," I whispered. And then, like a miracle, he went. I erupted into a chorus of praise, showering him with treats and affection. "Good boy, Max. You did it." In that moment, all the frustration, all the messes, all the doubts faded away. I realized that it wasn't just about teaching him to potty outside. It was about patience, understanding, and building a bond. Sure, it took longer than 3 days, but we got there together. And honestly, that's what made it all worthwhile.